I'll quickly show you how we can implement a for loop. Okay? And then you'll see that it's so easy and then very elegant. Okay, so I can say for I in so I can give a list here. So say I can say hello. Okay, 1 2. Okay, so I can put anything. All right, I can put anything here, and then I put colon, and then I just do what? Print I. Okay. So if I do this, and then let's run it and see what's going what happens. You can see here. Now all these are printed. See, all these elements, all these 4 elements, right? Hello, 1 2 there. Okay, hello, 1 2 and there. See, they were printed individually, right? They were printed one at a time. Okay, because so this means that, see, now this is an evidence, right? The output is the proof or evidence that this print statement ran how many times? 4 times, right? So in the first run we got hello, second run we got 1, third run we got 2, and fourth run we got there, right? So now let me explain this. Okay, let me explain this, and then you'll get it. Okay, so now let me write the code. Okay, uh, so my code is like this, right? Let me use a different pen for code. So for, right, I in, right, and then I give some list, right? So in list I have hello, right? I have 1, I have 2, right? And then I have there, okay? And then I have a colon here, right? And then here, all I'm doing is what? Print I, right? So what is going on here? So let's dissect this, or let's analyze. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll make a table just like before. Let's make a table. So I'll put I, the value of I, okay, I, and then what gets printed? Okay, what gets printed? Print. Okay. So what happens is with for, what happens is now these two are keywords. For and in are keywords, right? So for and in are keywords. So what it does is it takes one, okay, one item or one element at a time, okay? So it takes one element at a time. So in the first iteration or first execution, right? Execution iteration. So what it does is it takes the value. So it's something like this. So in the first, let's say 1, okay? In iteration 1 or loop 1 or round 1, let's say round 1, so that it's easier for you to understand. Okay, in round 1, okay, first round, okay, round 1, okay. So what happens is the value I is a variable. I is a variable, right? So the variable I gets or is assigned what? The whatever is in the first index or index 0, right? So here is hello, right? So it gets the value hello, right? Okay, and then what happens? It goes here to this line, and then it prints the value of I. So initially, number 1, our value of I is what? Hello, right? Okay, so that's the value of I. And what gets printed? Whatever the value of I is, that gets printed, right? So what gets printed? Printed is hello. Okay, all right. In the now, what happens after we're done with this? We go back, just like in while loop. Okay, we go back and then back to the same line, this line, first line. Okay, and then for I in the second run. Okay, let's say second round, whatever you want to call it. In the second round, now the same I gets the value of the second this element, index 1 element, right next to hello, the first element. Okay, it takes the value of the second element, which is 1, right? So in the second round, the value of I is 1, and what gets printed? The printed is 1, right? Okay. Now in the third case, in the third round, the same thing happens. Okay, because we're done with this part, right? We're done with print, right? So we go back again, right? And then what happens? I gets the value what? This. Okay, it takes turn. Okay, one after another. Okay, serially. Okay, now the value of I is 2. Okay, in the third round, we have the value of I is 3, and what gets printed? Whatever the value of I is, which is 3, right? And then in the fourth round, we have I is equal to, okay, in the fourth round, we go back here again, right? And what happens? The value of I will be this one, okay, there. Here, there, right? So in the fourth round again, we have, this is string, right? So there, string, and whatever there is an I, okay? This value is in I, so that gets printed. And after that, okay, we're done with, because there's no more, right? There's no more elements after there, after this one, right? So now the loop exits, and our because we don't have anything in our code, right? We don't have anything after for, right? So the program terminates, okay? And then what do we see on the output? Okay, and the output we see this, right? Hello, 1, 3 there. Okay, so okay, we have something in chat here. Oh, sorry. Thank you, thank you, Maya, man. Yeah, yeah. This is a typo. Yeah, I meant to say 2, right? Yeah, thank you. So it's not 3, right? I meant 2 because there's no 3 at all. Yes, thank you. That's 2. That's 2, right? Thank you for correcting me. Okay, I hope you're clear about how the for loop works, right? Okay, so uh, okay, it's pretty simple. So once you do a couple of these, you'll be very comfortable with this. Okay, so see also okay. So another interesting thing. Okay, another interesting thing is you can do this for a string. Okay, so for example, if I do for I can put I don't have to put I anything I can, so I can say letter, okay, any valid variable name, okay. So for letter in say uh, I could give a string, right? So hello, okay, all right, and then I can print, okay, so I can print what, the letter, right? Okay, so let's see what happens. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so let's see. Now see each of these. So each of the letter in hello was printed individually, right? HELLO, right? Look over here. So each individual letter was printed, one at a time, right? So so what happened here? So what exactly happened? Okay, let's go back and try to make sense out of it. Okay, so here what I did was this, right? Here what I did was for, right? I have letter in, right? And then I have hello, okay? And then I have print, right? Letter, okay? So what's happening here? So now what's happening is this is taken as a list. Okay, this is taken as a list. Why? Because string is basically a list of characters. Okay, a string can be taken as a list of characters. So, what does the list have? Okay, while we are you know while this code runs for this, okay, this okay what this is equivalent to, okay, or I'll write down here. So hello, okay, is equivalent to what? List which has H, E, L, L, and O. Okay, each character separately. So this is a list with how many? One. Okay. Uh, we have okay. So this is a list with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 characters. Okay. So that's okay. So that's the reason we have see now, if you look, if you recall from the last, last explanation we went through, okay, you'll see that if I put letter here and what gets printed, right? Okay, what gets printed. Now, in the first run, letter will have the value what? H, right? The character H. And then what gets printed? The character H, right? In the second run or second iteration, sorry. Okay, in the second iteration or second run, the value of letter, this is just a variable, nothing else, just a variable. Okay. All right, so the letter variable gets the value what? E, right? Okay, and then what gets printed? Whatever the letter is printed, right? So in what is in letter? E is in letter, and so on. Okay, until we get to the last one. Okay. All right, so I'll pause here, and then if you have any questions, I'll answer those. Any questions? Okay, so it looks like there are no questions. Okay, so now I'll quickly, okay, another very useful, okay, very useful and widely used function is called the range function, okay? So range, okay? So what range does is, okay, this is something in chat here, let's see. All right, can't we add conditions inside the for loop? Yes, of course. Yeah, if you want to, you can use conditions, of course. Yeah, but what it was, I didn't. I just wanted to explain how the for loop works, right? So, okay, yes, of course. You're free to use conditions and whatever. What else? Okay, what? So yeah. So I just showed you how the basic for loop works. Okay. Uh, all right. So I think, Chrisman, you are trying to compare this with, for example, for loop in C or C++. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So it's a little bit different. Of course, I think you can use this also, right? I haven't tried it, but this is not normally used in Python. Okay, Python doesn't, because this is error prone. Okay, the one you have shown here, right? For I equal to 2, I is less than 5. Yeah. So those, this type of syntax, it's error prone because it's easy to make errors, right? But with Python for loop, it's pretty robust, right? It's you don't make mistakes that much. Okay, so the Python for loop is a little bit different. Okay, but I'm yet to try whether this this kind of for loop also works or not. I'm yet to try. Okay, all right, you can try as well. Okay, so another function we're talking about, we're going to be talking about, is the range function. Okay, so function is this. Another chat. Okay. So can you rewrite this in Python? Okay, yes. Yes, sure. Okay, you know what? Why don't you try? Okay, why don't you try? Okay. So yeah, this one, the function that I'm going to explain now, that will help. Okay, that will help in implementing what you have here. Okay. Yes, we'll do that, of course. Yeah. So what the range function does is this. Okay. So whenever you have something like this, okay, whenever you have some name and then parenthesis, right, open and close parenthesis, then normally it's a function. Okay? It's a function, or also called method. Okay, so function in a function. So what happens is when you do range, okay, when you have range, for example, range 5. Okay, so what this gives you is a list, okay, from 0 to 4, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 less than this number. Okay, so for example, if you have a range, range 2, okay, what do you expect? Of course, 0 and 1 only, right? Okay, 0 and 1 only. Okay, so okay, so let's put it to work. Okay, and you'll see. Let's put it to work. So for example, I want to print I want to print, okay, so from 0 to say 0 to 5, right? I want to print from 0 to 5 in one line each, right? So what I can do is for okay, I in range. So because I want to go all the way to all the way to 5, right? So I put 6, right? So colon. Now what do? Print, sorry, print, okay, and then I, right? So let's see. Let's run it. See, I went from 0 to 5, right? As I said, uh, okay, so range 6. So what happened here? Range 6. Okay, what I did was range 6. So range 6 gave me what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, one less than whatever is here, one less than this, which is 5, right? So range, so it conveniently gives you, okay, a range of values, okay, a range of values. There are other possibilities, or there are the options as well, okay? So let's see. So in range, okay, you have this range function in range. So if you say some start value, okay, and then comma, and then end value, okay. So now if I say range 2 comma 6, right? So this will give me, okay, a list which starts from this value right here, okay. It starts from this value, okay, which is 2, and then is incremented by 1, okay, and is incremented by 1. That means initially we have 2, right, and then plus 1, which is 3, and then plus 1, 4, plus 1, 5, and then so it stops short of 1, okay, before this the stop value, okay. So now this is what you get, okay. So this is the let me use a different pen. Okay, so now this is what, this is the start, okay, start value, okay, and then this is the so this one gives you what, this is the end value, right? So I'll call it end value plus 1, okay, because you don't get that value, okay. All right, so let's see something in the chat here. Can we change the incremental value? Yes, Chrisman, yeah. We'll get to that next. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So now, see now in this cases, in the previous case, right, and then in this case, the increment, the so the numbers are incremented by 1, right? 1. So how about, can we increment by some other number other than 1, maybe 2, 3, or whatever number? Okay. So what happens? Okay, I mean, not what happens. How do we do that? Okay. So for that, let me clear this. Okay. For that, we use the same range function, right? Okay, range, and then here, now what we have is we have a start value, n value, n plus 1, not n plus 1 value, right? Okay, and then okay, and I shouldn't say n, but just before n, okay, because it might be different when you have your incremental, your increment is different from 1, okay. So this is the increment, the third one is the increment, okay. So let's see, I'll just write, this is the start, okay, this is end, okay. It doesn't touch the end though, right? It doesn't end, touch the end, okay, just before the end, okay. So and then here, this is the increment, okay, increment value or increment, okay. So now if I have something like this, so your range, you have say 2 to say 8, right? And then increment is 2. Now, what am I supposed to get? Okay, so of course my first value will be 2, and then the second value will be 2 plus 2, which is 4, right? Okay, and then 2 gets incremented, this 2, right? This 2 gets incremented every time. So now there's 6, right? Let me use that same pen, 6, and another value is 8, right? 6 plus 2 is 8. So, but it doesn't touch this, right? Okay, so it doesn't touch it. this one, right? So I suppose that it will just end here. Okay, let's try it out in code and then see if we got it right. Okay, so we'll use the same example that we discussed here, and then see if we got it right. Okay, so let me write the code here. Okay, so if I have say for, okay, I in range, okay, so 2 to 6, right? And then if I do print I, okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, 2 3 4 5, right? Start with 2 and stop one short of 6, right? Which is 5, right? So now this makes sense, right? So what if I do right here in this code, if I put 8, right? And then I make the increment value 2. So this was what Chrisman was asking. Okay, can we increment and can we set the incremental value, right? Increment step, whatever. Okay, so let's try this and then see if we got it right. See, yeah, we got it right. 2 4 6, right? See,